Today we're going to look at perpendicular lines. So perpendicular lines, that means they're at 90-degree angles, have opposite reciprocal slopes. So what that means, the opposite means you're going to switch the sign. So if it's positive, it becomes negative. If it's negative, it becomes positive. And reciprocal means you're going to flip the fraction. So what I mean by this, for example, is if you have an equation, y equals 2/3 x plus 1, the slope is 2/3, a line that's perpendicular to that would have a slope that has opposite signs. So since this is positive, it would be negative, and you'd flip the fraction. So it'd be -3/2. Okay, so if you have an equation y equals -2x plus 3, then a perpendicular line would have a slope that would be positive since this is negative. And since 2 can be written as 2/1, you would flip the fraction, so 1/2, so positive 1/2. Alright, likewise, if you had an equation that was y equals 3x minus 4, since this slope is 3/1, since it's positive, you would make it negative, and since it's 3/1, you would make it 1/3. Okay, so let's do the same as we did yesterday with parallel lines. So write an equation of a line that contains the given point, and this time is perpendicular to the given line. So if the given line is f of x, or in other words y, equals 1/2 x plus 5, we know that a perpendicular line would have a slope that is flipped and switched. So switch the sign, so now it'll become negative, and flip it, so it'd become 2/1, or in other words, just -2. Alright, so this is our slope, this is our point, and we're gonna, you guessed it, use point slope once again. So jotting down the point slope formula, we get y minus 1 equals, our slope now is -2, x minus 2. So when I distribute through, I get y minus 1 equals -2x plus 4. So add 1 to both sides. I get y equals -2x plus 5. So, and again, you want to make sure those slopes match, that these slopes are opposite reciprocal, which they are. You flip the sign and you flip the fraction. Okay, and then you can also, same thing, check your point. So plug in 1 for y, plug in 2, -2, plug in 2 for x. Make sure it matches up. So if I get -4 plus 5, that becomes 1, so everything checks out. Let's go ahead and practice one more example. So example 2. If you have an equation (2x plus 8y equals 24), and you know the point is -2, -14. So a perpendicular line, we need to find the slope for this first, because if we don't have the slope, we can't know the slope of a perpendicular line. So take the 2x, move it to the other side of the equal sign, so you'd get 8y equals, that now will become a -2x. Scooch over the 24, divide everything by 8, you get y equals -2 over +8 is -1/4, so -1/4 x plus 3. Okay, so this is our slope, and remember, for perpendicular lines, our slopes are opposite reciprocals. So that means I need to change my sign, so now it'll be positive, and flip my fraction. So it'd be 4/1, or in other words, just 4. Okay, and now using my point slope formula, y minus y1 equals m quantity x minus x1. I get y minus negative 14, so minus negative becomes plus, equals m, which is 4, x minus negative 2, so minus negative 2 becomes plus. So y plus 14 equals, distribute through, I get 4x plus 8. Last step, minus 14, subtract 14. I get y equals 4x minus 6. So again, our very final step, we want to check this point, so plug in negative 14 for y, plug in negative 2 for x. Okay, I get negative 14 equals negative 8 minus 6. So negative 14, negative 8 minus 6 is negative 14. So we've done everything right.